to the episode.
Great to be here, Rebecca.
So would you like to briefly introduce about Jina AI and what you guys do?
Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Bean. I'm the co-founder and COO of Jina AI. Jina AI is a neurosearch company. What we do is we build a framework that is open sourced to enable developers and businesses to better structure a search pipeline with scalability and availability to process unstructured data. So basically lowering the bar for people to build up search applications.
Is this the first time you join and build a startup?
I would say it's not the first time joining a startup, because back in the 2017, I remember, I joined one of the startup unicorn that is Ofo Bike Share.
Wow.
So I was launching the Ofo Bike Share back in Australia. So that was pretty much a startup experience already, sort of the experience of starting up everything.
So what's the difference between working at a startup and a corporate job?
It takes very different skill sets and also mindset especially. So living in a corporates, for example, in Fortune 500, I would say most of the day-to-day concerns is about maintaining the business and growing at relatively stable scale. But in the startup, it's about survival. It's about having today or tomorrow. So that's a very different mindset. I would say in startup, you really need to embrace changes.
Yep.
Though I hate to say it, because change always makes people uncomfortable, but that's the fact. That's the only source of truth for startup, that is to embrace change.
What kind of pain points or issues Jina AI is solving?
Jina AI, we are an enterprise technology company that we provide enterprise solutions for businesses to better build up search tools and search applications to better solve unstructured data problems. Because that's not an easy task to solve, basically.
True.
For example, like if you are clicking into an e-commerce app, there would be a search box that you can actually type for information, but that's simple because it's text-based search, it's symbolic search. But how to change the interactions in the app of search is going to be very interesting. For example, you can upload a picture, you can upload a video, or you can just voice input of whatever message you want to speak. So those are the things very different from traditional way of search that convert everything into text and search with keywords. But Jina is actually trying to build up a new design pattern for all of the businesses to be able to build up a search engine that can actually process any type of queries. So this is very different. So that's the solution we're providing to businesses.
Isn't Google is doing the same thing?
I would say it's a little bit different. What Google is providing is broader internet search. Broader internet search is a little bit different from enterprise search because enterprise is an enclosed environment that is searching all of the data within your environment.
It's quite impressive that Jina AI has raised almost thousands of $millions. How did you achieve that, especially during the COVID-19?
For fundraising perspective, there's always investors out there in the market looking for opportunities.
That's true.
Regardless of market and good or bad environment. The key for us to get a good fundraise from very solid investors is that we have a clear mind of what we want to do, and we have a clear roadmap of what we want to achieve. So that is very important nowadays in startup because investors won't be spreading money along the way. They will be very cautious about what they want to peak. They're looking for a return as well. So it's important for investors to be clear of what they can get out from the investment.
Usually for startups, they would try to build a team in the home country to take over the domestic markets and then think about expand to the foreign market. So I'm very surprised that you already built such an international team.
Kind of the culture that we want to build is that we strongly believe that the world is getting connected closer, regardless of different culture and different backgrounds. But people are getting closer right now across different cultures.
What makes you decided to join the team?
I would say I'm always a kind of person that is not sticking to routines.
Okay.
When I was working at Tencent, I was really missing the kind of excitement that Ofo brought me when I was in Australia. Because you basically can see the changes every single day of what you are making. So that was very different from corporate that you may spend like 6 to 12 months and then see some of accomplishment, but that doesn't mean too much. For the business of Tencent, for example, that's a very different feeling about success.
Do you have any suggestions you could share with your peer founders?
From my past experience is that we really need to understand what we're doing. Have a clear mind of the kind of a roadmap that we want to achieve, whatever goals that we are looking for. So that's the initial foundation for everything. You will always face challenges every single day. Just hold on to it, because that's the pain and that's the joy that starting up a new business is going to be bringing to you.
Do you guys have any strategy regarding finding the right team member?
You always take lessons on
Okay.
finding the right people. To me, co-founders need to have very strong connections to each other, that you believe whatever your partner is going to be bringing to you. Building up trust isn't an easy thing, right?
That's true.
You really need to have a very firm connection with your co-founders, basically even closer to your family.
Wow, really?
I would say, because you're all on the same boat.
Well, since you have a very clear roadmap, then what's next for Jina AI?
We are still focusing around our community, so it's about developer community build up, it's about best practices in the community use cases, so that's a very clear mind at the current stage. We'll be focusing around that at least for 1 or 2 years.
Why would you name it Jina AI?
First of all, it's a very simple name that you don't pronounce it wrong or pronounce it too wrong, to be honest. And then also picking up the 2 characters from Chinese. One is Ji. Ji means geek. So because we are an open source company, we focus on developers, we focus on community.
Right.
So it's very geek. Na is embracing 海纳百川. So it's be embracive, because we're open source, so we open up our arms to embrace the community. We are a Berlin-based company. In German, Gina means ordinary lady coming from somewhere. We're an AI company. We want to provide a little bit human faces around artificial intelligence. It's not code machine.
Thank you for joining Startup Grants event.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.